everyone. Welcome to Christmas in July here at the Budgeting Sisters. This is a quick Etsy shop drop before we get into today's program. We have a Christmas in July. Now, this one download is 99 cents, but you get one challenge on this download. It says Christmas in July, and it has 20 Christmas trees on the card. Now, when you print this off, this is exactly what it will look like. This will fit in your A6 size, normal savings challenge size cards. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to, let me move this aside, and I am going to print this as a full-size image. So when I go in to print it, I am going to hit the scale parameters of the printing, and I am going to print this as a full page printout. And when you do that, it will print just like this as a full 8.5 by 11 page. See if you can see this all here. There we go. And it'll print just like this. I want it to this size so that way I can hole punch it and put it right into my binder with all my other Christmas challenges. Now, that is the only difference between this one and this one, is that I changed the size parameters in my printing. When I go, like when you hit the button to actually print it, and it gives you all the different scale options, whether you want to print color, black and white, that's where I changed it to hit to print a full page instead of not changing anything. You don't change anything, it's going to look like this. So it'll still fit all your stuff just as normal. Again, this is 99 cents over on the Budgeting Sisters shop on our Etsy page. Now, there is a ton more savings challenges over there, ton more of the tinies and the minis and scratch offs, everything you can think of. It's April and Ken have been working overtime and just pumping out all of the holiday stuff for you. So go on over to the Budgeting Sisters shop over on Etsy and get your Christmas savings challenges today. Now, on this Frugal Friday, we are going to do a Christmas checklist. I have found this. It was a free download over on the glossynest.com. theglossynest.com. And this is a Christmas checklist. Now, this actually started after Christmas last year. So you can go over this if you would like, but I'm just going to jump into this 4 to 6 months before Christmas. We just need to start planning. We need to start thinking about Christmas, making our arrangements, and figuring out what we want to do, right? Because it comes up so much faster than we can even think. Now, on the 4 to 6 months before Christmas, it has book your holiday travel, request your vacation time at work. Now, this one to me is top priority because I'm the only one working and I need to make sure that I get paid for that time off. But in order to request it at work to get it off, I need to know what is happening, what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going. Am I traveling? Are people coming to me or am I going to them? All the above. If they're coming to me, do I need some extra time off to clean, to prepare for house guests or things like that? Now is the time to shore up these plans for Christmas. Who's going where? Who's coming? Who's eating? Who's sleeping where? Things like that. At least get a general idea. Excuse me. Now, once you have your plans figured out, look at your calendar, figure out exactly what time you need to request off from work. Once you have your vacation time accepted at work, then be in touch with your family and friends to say, okay, everything is a go. I was able to make arrangements and we're all set. Then everybody knows what the plan is. From there, you can then push forward to making more of the arrangements that are just yours on your end. Brainstorm your Christmas gift ideas. This means that you got to figure out a list. Who are you buying for? How much are you spending? You may not know necessarily what their likes are, or things like that, things that they need or anything like that, but you know who you want to buy for and how much you're going to be spending. You need to figure that out now. That's the next thing on the list. Finalize that Christmas budget. Once you know who you're spending for, how much you want to spend per category, because your categories are going to be different for your spouse, your children, versus your nieces, nephews, friends, mailman, hairdresser, things like that. So, once you have your list made, you can finalize your budget of what you need and then start your Christmas savings. That's why we have been coming up with so many of these Christmas trackers, because we all have certain people that we want to just show a little love towards at the holiday season and give them something to say, hey, I appreciate you. I'm thankful you're in my life and I wanted to give you this. So finalize that budget and start saving. That is where we are now. We need to get this stuff going because we are now in the 4 to 6 months before Christmas category. After that, it does break down into 2 to 3 months before Christmas, 3 to 4 weeks, 1 week before Christmas, and all the way down to Christmas Eve. And then after Christmas, you can jump over here at the top and start all over again for the next year. Again, this was a free download over on theglossynest.com. So you can just use it year after year. It doesn't really matter. Even if you do not celebrate Christmas and you are thinking Sukkot, you're thinking Hanukkah, things like that, it's still going to be the same idea. What do you want to do during that vacation, during that holiday season? Who do you want to personalize the gifts for? Who are you shopping for? How much are you spending? Even if you only spend for your family, your immediate family, your spouse, and your children, you still have things that you're getting for them during that time. Or are you spending it on, like, take Sukkot and Hanukkah, and even Christmas? Are you spending it teaching them things? Do you need to buy books to teach your lessons or crafts or different outreach ideas or things like that? That still requires some brainstorming, figuring out what you want to do, and setting a budget. You still got to figure that out. All those things are important in order to teach your children or even enjoy the time yourself and keep the meaning of these holidays all where it needs to be. It needs to be focused on God and teaching about his son, teaching about Jesus coming down to earth and being born, teaching about the Hanukkah time and the faithfulness of God. We still need to think about how we can share that and share those lessons and share those stories with everybody, which still requires you to think ahead, brainstorm what you want to do, what you need for supplies, and come up with that budget. So, again, now is the time to do that. Start looking ahead at what you want to do. Maybe in this next category, it says, what do you want to do as a bucket list? What are some of the things you want to go to or do during this season? Things you want to bake, parties, or things you want to decorate with. These are all things you need to be thinking about now and getting into your budget so that you have the ability to do whatever you are choosing to do and not break your budget. Because I know for me, there has been lots of times when I have wanted to do certain outreach programs, like for instance, Operation Christmas Child. Great ministry. It always happens in November, and you got to have your boxes ready to them ahead of time. So it takes planning in September and October in order to get that done in time. Well, I always forget that until I start seeing the advertisement, and then I don't have time as much as I want to do it. And I keep saying every year, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it because it's a great ministry. Every single year, I forget about it until it's time for those boxes are almost due. And by that point, I don't have the finances in my budget to take the little bit that I needed. And it may be only $15, $20. But at the time, I didn't have that to all of a sudden pull that out of my budget and do that. So if I start thinking about it now, that is one of the things that I can put down that is on my bucket list, that is on my planning for holiday events and things that I want to do, so that then if I have the money come July and August, I have no problem doing that at the end of September, October, getting the stuff and being ready to give it to them in November. So it just takes planning. Things like that is why we start ahead of time so that we can enjoy the time that we do have, enjoy the time that we do have during this holiday season without having to stress about money, without having to worry about it, without having to just talk about other people's adventures and other people's things. We can actually go out and do them ourselves and take our children and take our friends and just go out and do things ourselves that show the true meaning of these holiday times that we have. With all that being said, go on over to theglossynest.com and get this free download. Like I said, even if you're doing a different holiday other than Christmas, it's still the same thought process. It still accomplishes the same goal. Go ahead, get your printable, and start planning and thinking about what you want to do this holiday season. Check back here at the Budgeting Sisters for more planning every single Friday of different things to help you prepare for this Christmas season. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.